Lucy Greybeard and Katniss Everdeen are the only two female victors from District 12 in the history of the Hunger Games. However, despite their shared distinction, these two women could not be more different. Before we dive into their differences, it is worth noting what they have in common.
Both of these characters inhabit the dystopian world created by author Suzanne Collins, where children are forced to fight and kill each other in an annual competition called the Hunger Games. The Hunger Games were created in response to a rebellion where the 12 districts of Panem, a country occupying most of North America, rose up against the ruthless capital. The capital crushed the districts and instituted the Hunger Games as punishment. The Hunger Games continued for 75 years until the districts once again rose up and defeated the capital. Before the capital was defeated, Lucy and Katniss were forced to fight and survive and ultimately triumph in the 10th and 74th Hunger Games, respectively.
Despite her youth and lack of combat experience, Katniss enters the 74th Hunger Games as a favored tribute. Her prowess with a bow and her survival skills, honed over years of hunting and living off the land, give her an edge over many of the other tributes. It is for these reasons that the game makers rate Katniss with a training score of 11 out of 12 possible points.
Conversely, Lucy Gray lacks the skills required to thrive in the 10th Hunger Games. Orphaned at a young age, Lucy banded together with a group called the Covey to survive. She earned money by performing music with the Covey as a family band. While she is a charming and talented musician, these are not the skills that typically lead to victory. Katniss and Lucy Gray are two of the most iconic characters in the Hunger Games series. They are both strong, resourceful, and determined women who embody the spirit of hope and resilience. Their stories are a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope for a better future.
With that said, let's take a closer look at these two characters and try to understand what common traits led to their victory in the games, and what makes them both such intriguing characters. We'll start by looking at each character's background. Background of Katniss Everdeen. Katniss Everdeen, the protagonist of Suzanne Collins' The Hunger Games trilogy, is a resilient and resourceful young woman thrust into the brutal world of the Hunger Games. Born and raised in District 12, the poorest and most disadvantaged district, Katniss's background is marked by poverty and struggle. As the story unfolds, we learn about her experiences as the primary provider for her family, stepping into the role of a skilled hunter and forager after her father's death. The oppressive nature of life in District 12, characterized by its coal mining industry, sets the stage for Katniss's journey as a symbol of rebellion and hope. District 12. District 12 serves as a bleak backdrop for Katniss's early life. The district's harsh conditions and stark contrast to the opulence of the capital highlight the socioeconomic disparities in the Panem society. Katniss's skills with a bow and arrow, honed through her hunting expeditions in the woods surrounding District 12, become not only her means of survival, but also a key aspect of her identity. The coal mining district's poverty in the annual Hunger Games, a brutal televised event where children are chosen to fight to the death, form the core conflicts that shape Katniss's character and her ultimate role in the rebellion against the capital. Role as Mockingjay. Katniss's journey takes a pivotal turn when she becomes the Mockingjay, a symbol of rebellion against the capital's tyranny. Her actions in the Hunger Games, particularly her defiance and alliance with Peeta Mellark, spark a district-wide uprising. The Mockingjay symbol, derived from a pin given to her by an acquaintance from District 12, becomes a potent emblem of resistance. Katniss's role extends beyond mere survival. She becomes a reluctant but influential leader in the rebellion. Her determination, strategic thinking, and ability to inspire others make her a formidable force in the fight against the capital, transforming her from a symbol of survival into a symbol of hope and revolution. As we transition from Katniss Everdeen's gritty struggle for survival in District 12 to the enigmatic world of Lucy Greybeard and the unconventional Covey community, we discover a new dimension to the Hunger Games universe, one shaped by creativity, independence, and the compelling spirit of Lucy Gray herself.
Background of Lucy Gray. Lucy Gray, the intriguing protagonist of Suzanne Collins' The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, offers a fresh perspective on the Hunger Games universe. As a child, Lucy's parents were killed by Capitol peacekeepers. She and her siblings were taken in by an old man from District 12. The man didn't care for the children much, but he didn't bother them either. Lucy was forced to become self-reliant at a young age. Hailing from the Covey, a tight-knit and nomadic community with a rich cultural background, Lucy Gray's upbringing stands in stark contrast to the more structured districts. The Covey community values creativity, independence, and a connection to nature. Lucy Gray embodies these qualities, making her a captivating and enigmatic character from the start. Her introduction promises a narrative that explores the complexity of the human spirit and survival in the face of adversity. Involvement in the Hunger Games. Lucy Gray's journey unfolds against the backdrop of the 10th Hunger Games, and her selection as a tribute introduces a unique dynamic to the story. Her approach to the games is marked by a combination of resourcefulness and a cunning nature, traits that set her apart in the arena. Lucy Gray's ability to captivate an audience with her musical talents becomes a significant aspect of her character, adding layers of depth to her personality. As a tribute from the Covey, she navigates the challenges of the Hunger Games with a blend of resilience, cleverness, and a sense of individualism that challenges the Capitol's expectations of a poor girl from District 12. Alright, let's break down Lucy Gray and Katniss Everdeen. Each character has their own distinct backgrounds, but as we dig in, you'll see that they have some surprising similarities that help them retain their humanity in the face of the Hunger Games cruelty. Personality traits.
Katniss Everdeen and Lucy Gray are both compelling characters. Let's compare and contrast their personalities, focusing on their resilience, resourcefulness, and adaptability. Resilience. Katniss is known for her remarkable resilience. Growing up in poverty in District 12, she faced numerous challenges even before the Hunger Games. Her ability to endure physical and emotional hardships is clear throughout the series. The loss of her father, the responsibility of providing for her family, and surviving the Hunger Games multiple times show how strong she is in the face of adversity.
Lucy Gray's resilience is also a prominent aspect of her character. As a tribute from District 12, Lucy Gray confronts the brutality of the Hunger Games with a resilient spirit. Her ability to maintain her identity and sense of self in a hostile environment demonstrates her inner strength. This tribute is most evident in the way that Lucy treats her fellow tribute from District 12, Jessup Diggs. Prior to the start of the games, Lucy and Jessup form an alliance. Unfortunately, this alliance was short-lived when Jessup contracts rabies and attacks Lucy. Jessup chases Lucy into the stands where he falls and breaks his neck. In his final moments, Lucy comforts Jessup by telling him that he could sleep now. After he dies, Lucy cleans his face and covers it with a cloth to hide him from the audience. This moment, when Lucy comforts Jessup, mirrors Katniss's act of comforting Rue and decorating her body with white flowers after her death. Both Lucy and Katniss' acts reveal that the Capitol cannot take away their most important trait, their humanity. Resourcefulness.
Katniss is incredibly resourceful, particularly when it comes to survival skills. Her proficiency with the bow and arrow, knowledge of edible plants, and keen instincts make her a formidable contestant in the Hunger Games. She can adapt to various situations and use her surroundings to her advantage.
Lucy Gray's resourcefulness is different from Katniss's, as she relies on her musical talents and charismatic personality. She uses her ability to captivate an audience through song and performance, demonstrating a different talent compared to Katniss's more traditional survival skills. Despite her lack of physical strength, Lucy proves herself to be a formidable opponent in the Hunger Games, both inside and outside of the arena. Growing up in District 12, Lucy shares a skill with Katniss, a knowledge of wildlife. Like Katniss, Lucy knows which plants to forage for, such as the Katniss flower. However, Lucy also possesses a skill that Katniss lacks, the ability to handle snakes. Lucy uses her knowledge of snakes to her advantage on multiple occasions. First, she drops a snake down the dress of the mayor's daughter as revenge for forcing Lucy into the games. Later, she uses a poisonous snake concealed in her dress to kill an attacking tribute. Finally, at the conclusion of the novel, Lucy uses a snake to fend off the attacks of a capital thug. Adaptability.
Katniss's adaptability is a key factor in her survival. Whether in the arena or navigating the political complexities of the capital, she adjusts to changing circumstances. Her ability to read situations and make quick decisions contributes to her success in the Hunger Games and later in the rebellion against the Capitol.
Lucy Gray's adaptability is seen in her ability to navigate the social dynamics of the Hunger Games. Her chameleon-like ability to switch personas and adjust her behavior based on the audience highlights her adaptability. She uses her wit and charm. Lucy is even aware of how her own appearance plays to her strengths. We see this when she is first introduced to the public and she whispers to her handler, Coriolanus, which side is her good one. Both characters come from District 12, which adds a layer of commonality in their backgrounds. They share a certain level of independence and a willingness to defy expectations imposed upon them.
Katniss relies more on traditional survival skills, while Lucy uses her charisma and musical talents as her primary tools. The settings in which they participate in the Hunger Games vary, influencing their strategies and methods of adaptation. In short, Katniss Everdeen and Lucy Gray are both tough and resourceful, but they have different ways of surviving and adapting to their circumstances. This is due to their different personalities and the different situations they find themselves in. Shifting from a discussion of Katniss Everdeen and Lucy Gray's personalities, it is essential to explore their motivations, which drive their actions and shape their character arcs. Motivations. Katniss's motivations are deeply rooted in her love for her family. The responsibility of providing for her mother and sister, Prim, propels her into the role of the family's provider after her father's death. After all, unlike Lucy, Katniss volunteers for the Hunger Games to take the place of her younger sister. Throughout the Hunger Games series, her desire to protect her loved ones remains a driving force. Moreover, as the narrative progresses, Katniss's motivations expand to include a broader sense of justice and rebellion against the oppressive Capitol. The atrocities she witnesses and the personal losses she has to endure fuel her determination to bring about change in Panem. By the end of the series, Katniss would rather die than allow another innocent person to suffer through the Hunger Games. This is why she risks her life in order to kill President Coin, who wants to continue the tradition of the Hunger Games.
Lucy's motivations, while influenced by her survival instincts, are also intertwined with her desire for self-expression and individuality. As a performer from District 12, she uses her musical talents not only as a means of survival, but also as a way to assert her identity in a world that often seeks to erase individuality. Her actions are shaped by a quest for freedom and a refusal to conform to the Capitol's expectations. In this way, Lucy shares more in common with Peeta than Katniss. At the start of the game, Peeta expresses his desire to defy the Capitol in the same way that Lucy does, by holding on to his identity and humanity. He tells this to Katniss before the start of the games. At the time, she doesn't understand what he means, but by the end of the games, Katniss realizes that it is better to die on her own terms than to become a useful pawn in the Capitol's games. This is a lesson that Lucy Gray has learned long before she enters the arena. Unlike Katniss, whose motivations initially stem from familial responsibility, Lucy Gray's motivations are more nuanced, encompassing a pursuit of personal freedom and authenticity. As we analyze the dynamics of relationships in both characters' lives, it becomes clear that their unique motivations significantly influence the way they interact with others. Relationships.
Katniss Everdeen and Lucy Gray are two popular characters in young adult literature. Both girls are strong, resilient, and resourceful, but they have very different motivations and relationships with the people around them. Katniss's relationships with other characters are often shaped by her need to protect her family. She volunteers for the Hunger Games to save her younger sister Prim, and she goes to great lengths to protect her mother and Gale. Katniss is fiercely loyal to her loved ones, and she would do anything for them. Katniss's relationship with Peeta is complex and evolving. At first, they're forced to form an alliance in the Hunger Games, but they eventually develop genuine feelings for each other. Peeta is one of the few people who truly understands Katniss, and he is always there for her when she needs him. Gale, Katniss's best friend and hunting partner, represents another significant relationship. Their bond is rooted in shared struggles and a history of survival in District 12. However, as the story progresses, the romantic tension between them creates conflicts, especially in the context of Katniss's evolving feelings for Peeta.
Lucy Gray's relationships with other characters are also shaped by her need to survive. She's a talented singer and uses her charisma and charm to influence the people around her. Lucy is not hesitant to use her charms to her benefit to survive in the Hunger Games. The relationship between Lucy Gray and Coriolanus Snow is complex and volatile. Coriolanus, a young man from the capital, is assigned to be Lucy's mentor in the Hunger Games. Initially, Coriolanus is attracted to Lucy, but he is also jealous of her popularity. As the story progresses, their relationship becomes increasingly antagonistic, revealing the true nature of Snow's motivations. Through Lucy, we see Snow devolve into the narcissistic, scheming, and murderous man he becomes. Although Lucy's feelings for Snow are genuine, he only sees her as an object that he can own, one that will reflect well on him. When Lucy becomes an inconvenience, Snow is all too ready to murder her. Katniss and Lucy Gray are both strong and resourceful, but they have very different motivations and relationships with the people around them. Katniss is motivated by her love for family, while Lucy Gray is motivated by her desire for freedom and self-expression. Katniss's relationships with other characters are often shaped by her need to protect her loved ones, while Lucy Gray's relationships are often shaped by her need for survival instincts.
In the Hunger Games trilogy, Katniss Everdeen showcases remarkable survival instincts throughout her time in the arena. Her initial strategy involves utilizing her expertise in archery and hunting, skills developed during her time in District 12. Katniss excels in resourcefulness, relying on her knowledge of edible plants and her ability to adapt to various environments. A specific tactic Katniss uses is to climb a tree early in the games and allow the tributes to fight it out while she hunts, searches for water, and survives on her wits. Moreover, Katniss understands the importance of image and sponsors in the Hunger Games. She plays to the capital audience, using her romance with Peeta to gain support and favor, even though at the time for her this was mostly an act. This calculated approach, coupled with her combat skills, allows her to navigate the political intricacies of the games. The alliances she forms, especially with Peeta Mellark, become strategic decisions driven by the need for mutual survival.
Lucy Gray employs a different set of survival instincts. Coming from a background of performing in District 12, Lucy Gray uses her musical talents and charismatic personality to captivate both capital audiences and her fellow tributes. Her ability to adapt her persona based on a situation allows her to navigate the complexities of the Hunger Games, challenging the conventional expectations of tributes. Lucy Gray's survival strategies extend beyond traditional combat skills. She leverages her charm to build alliances and gain support, recognizing the power of perception in the capital-controlled arena. Her unpredictable and enigmatic nature becomes a tool for survival, keeping both her competitors and the audience on edge. In the end, Lucy's survival comes down to her relationship with just one character, Coriolanus Snow. Using his influence with the head game maker Dr. Gall, Lucy's mentor makes sure that the poisonous snakes dropped into the arena recognize Lucy's scent and leave her alone. Snow also gives Lucy his mother's makeup compact and suggests that she fill it with rat poisoning before entering the arena. To be honest, Lucy's ability to cheat helps her survive the games, but given the circumstances, it's hard to blame her for taking any opportunity to win. Now let's examine the impact of both Katniss Everdeen and Lucy Gray in the Hunger Games universe. Both characters play important roles in shaping the narratives of resistance and defiance in this dystopian world. Impact on the world.
Impact of Katniss Everdeen. Katniss emerges as a symbol of resistance against the oppressive capital. Her defiance during the 74th Hunger Games, particularly with the berries incident, sparks the idea of rebellion across the districts. The Mockingjay symbol becomes an emblem of hope and defiance, rallying people against the Capitol's tyranny. As the series progresses, Katniss becomes a reluctant leader in the rebellion. Her experiences in the arena and her personal losses fuel her determination to overthrow the Capitol. Katniss's influence extends beyond her actions in the Hunger Games, as she becomes a figurehead in the rebellion, inspiring others to join the cause. However, Katniss's impact is not without personal sacrifices. Her relationships, particularly with Peeta and Gale, are strained due to the demands of the rebellion. Prim, Katniss's sister, dies in the battle for the Capitol. Katniss's journey highlights the cost of resistance and the toll it takes on individuals, even as it brings about significant change.
Lucy Gray's character challenges the Capitol's expectations for tributes, her ability to captivate the audience through her performances, and her defiance of traditional tribute behavior disrupts the Capitol's bigoted view of district citizens. As a District 12 tribute, Lucy, from the viewpoint of the Capitol, should barely act human. Yet she proves herself to be charming, charismatic, clever, and talented. Lucy Gray's impact extends to the future president of the Capitol, Coriolanus Snow, as well. Her ability to elude the Capitol's control and her impact on Snow's life shape his perspective on power and survival. Lucy Gray's presence contributes to the complex and manipulative nature of Snow's character. It's probable that when he first meets Katniss, he can't help but compare her to his former love interest, Lucy Gray. This comparison may have caused Snow to view Katniss and the ideas she represents as a distinct threat to his power. While Lucy Gray's story is more contained within the events of The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, her actions and defiance leave a lasting legacy. The seeds of rebellion and resistance planted by characters like Lucy Gray contribute to the broader narrative of dissent against the Capitol. And let's not forget, she wrote an anthem for the rebellion, The Hanging Tree.
Katniss plays a central role in leading a rebellion against the Capitol, while Lucy Gray's impact is more subtle and localized within the events of her Hunger Games. Katniss's influence extends beyond the arena, shaping the destiny of Panem, whereas Lucy Gray's impact is seen in the challenges she poses to Capitol norms and in her influence on Snow's character development. Both characters, in their own ways, symbolize defiance against the Capitol. Katniss's rebellion is more explicit and organized, whereas Lucy's is rooted in her individualistic and unpredictable nature. Alright, let's put a bow on this video with a few final thoughts on both these amazing characters. Katniss symbolizes the power of individual resistance against systemic oppression. Her journey from a reluctant tribute to the face of rebellion illustrates the transformative impact of personal choices on the larger socio-political landscape of Panem.
Lucy Gray challenges Capitol norms through her unique blend of musical talent and defiance. Her character represents the unpredictable nature of human spirit in the face of Capitol control, offering a different perspective on resistance and individuality. These characters provoke thoughtful reflection on what it means to resist in a dystopian world. But which of these two characters do you find more compelling? Does Katniss, with her more explicit rebellion and leadership, resonate? Or does Lucy Gray's enigmatic defiance and influence on future Capitol leaders leave a lasting impact? Let us know in the comments. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video.
We've got a few more videos on the Hunger Games. You can check them out. in this playlist. And we cover a lot of other subjects like writing, poetry, and other classic stories. If you're into that sort of thing, make sure and subscribe because we'll be creating a lot more videos just like this in the future. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you learned something. If you did and you enjoyed what you watched, come back. We have more content. All right. See you later. Bye.